Greetings YouTube, Greek here with another Pokemon TCG video. Today I will be evaluating the Jungle expansion set, talking about my favorite cards. Let's get into it. First up on my list is Mr. Mime. This card makes my list not because of the art style, but because of how important this card was for the base set, Jungle, and Fossil format. It was a staple on stall decks due to its invisible wall Pokemon power that allows moves with 30 damage or more to not affect Mr. Mime. This makes Mr. Mime's 40 HP pretty much a non-factor, as it will never get one-hit KO'd. This card was a good way to slow down Haymaker decks and completely walls Scyther. All in all, a great card to look at and use in competitive play. Next on my list is Primeape. This card art really encapsulates what Primeape is all about. It looks like it's about to run through a wall in this art. Its text pretty much explains it, quote, "It will not abandon chasing its quarry until its quarry is caught." This is a risky card to play with Fury Swipes due to relying on coin flips, but it could potentially deal 60 damage for only 2 energy. And on the flip side, for an additional energy, you can do 50 damage with Tantrum, but you will be confused. So this is a risky card to play, and it makes my list mostly because of the card art and not being an effective Pokemon in the meta game. Next up on my list is Tauros. Now Tauros, if you've seen some of my previous Pokemon Showdown vids, was king of Gen 1 OU in the video games, but it wasn't as effective in the TCG. But that didn't stop it from making my list because this card looks great. You have this Tauros looking pretty smug, twirling its tails at you on its ranch, like, come at me, bro. I think this card could have had potential if it had 70 HP instead of 60, and a better second move other than Rampage. Stomp is serviceable with the ability of dealing 30 damage for 1 double colorless, so you could fit it in here, but it wasn't as optimal as you would think. Next we have Marowak. Marowak has great artwork with an action shot of Marowak using his signature boomerang technique. Like Tauros and Primeape, it is high risk, high reward. The aforementioned boomerang with the ability to dish out 60 damage for only 2 fighting energy. Its Call for Friends move can pair well with Wigglytuff, start to load up your bench, and boost Wigglytuff's Do the Wave that relies on a number of Pokemon on its bench. I would bunch it in with Tauros in that it needs that extra 10 HP and a better second move to have truly become viable in the TCG meta, but it's a great card. You need this in your collection. Another Gen 1 OU giant makes my list in Exeggutor. This card art is great though. It's a fun thing to think that this coconut Pokemon likes to enjoy its free time while sitting underneath a palm tree enjoying life. Now this card can be teamed with Venusaur's energy transfer ability that allows it to move energies willy-nilly around the board to create more flips for Exeggutor's big explosion attack. That can give you an attack that pretty much can OHKO any creature in this format with the right amount of flips, but that's if you want to risk it for the biscuit. With all of these flips, you could flip all heads or all tails. Next up, we have my favorite evolution growing up, and that's Vaporeon. Playing Pokemon Red and Blue, I always pick Vaporeon, and its trading card was coveted in my collection. This art is amazing. I don't really see Vaporeon depicted like this in other cards or video games for that matter. It's very useful first attack and quick attack. I wish that it had Lapras's water gun instead of this version. It just costs too much energy, and because of that, it's not really viable as in Rain Dance decks or anything like that. Next up is Lickitung. Lickitung makes my list due to checking all of my boxes. Great art, useful in the metagame, and a favorite Pokemon of mine. Lickitung has a great move in Tongue Wrap that only costs 1 colorless energy, does damage, and can buy you a turn of paralysis on a coin flip. This is an underrated card in my opinion. It should be a staple in most decks. It's colorless, so you can really put it in any sort of deck. You don't have to worry about matching up with energies. Yes, 3 retreat costs might be much, but you have trainer cards like Switch, and if you have a Dodrio on the bench, you can mitigate that cost. So there's a great utility card if you're building decks. And look at it, it's eating, it's having fun. You need this card. Next, we have the Stag Beetle Pokemon Pinsir. Known for being a fierce Pokemon, it gets justice in its trading card debut. This card looks great. It's holographic. It looks menacing, jumping, ambushing some Pokemon, it seems like. And it has a useful attack in Vice Grip. And it has Guillotine, which deals 50 damage, albeit for 4 energy. Kind of like Nidorino in the base set. You thought, wow, this card deals 50 damage. But as you kind of get older and realize, hey, 4 damage, it's not really that viable. But so it wasn't really common in the meta, but it was an amazing card to look at, and you need this card in your collection. Number 2 on my list is Scyther. Scyther comes in a close second on my list. Competitively speaking, this is the most useful card, in my opinion, in this set. And I would make the case that it's one of the most useful in the first 3 sets. It can be plugged in any deck due to Slash needing 3 colorless energy. Plus, it has no retreat cost. On turn 2, you potentially have a move in Slash that can deal 30 damage or 60, depending if you use Swords Dance the previous turn. This is classic Pokemon art, meta defining. This card has it all. Whether you're making decks or collecting cards, you need this card. Number 1 on my list is Pidgeot. I don't think Pidgeot has ever looked cooler. It looks like it's summoning a whirlwind in this card. Its holographic version looks great and really catches the eye, and it makes its feathers almost look mythical. I want to add that the excerpt of this card text describes Pidgeot hunting Magikarp from the ocean. Like, that just adds how cool this card is, especially when you pulled it from the package growing up. It has great HP with 80 and 2 serviceable moves in Wing Attack and Hurricane. The latter can phase out your opponent's bench Pokemon in and out, which can disrupt your opponent. It did not see longevity that Scyther had, but in the competitive meta, but it's a personal favorite of mine in this set. It was close between Pidgeot and Scyther, but I think about how excited I was as a kid when I pulled this Pidgeot. It tipped the scale for me. And that's my list. Let me know if you agree with me on some Pokemon in this set, or some that you think I missed. What's your favorite from this set? Please let me know in the comment section. Subscribe for more content, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.